in game one. Like, because they, I feel like JT was doing amazingly well, Boca was owning with him, but everything else kind of felt a bit disconnected on the map. They didn't really have any plays until a nullifier on Dragonet. That's very late. That's super late, considering how well and how much farm JT had.
Yeah, with how well that lane went, where they got 3 kills on Pure to start, it's definitely a little bit shocking. And I think they do a first pick, so maybe they're the ones who want to pick the Omni Knight, not Dan just yet.
If you remember in that last game, I believe, to pick the Omni, at one point they banned out Shadow Demon as well, and it was like, hell, that they were going to go for it. But also Shadow Demon just way too good at the moment. I feel like, for me at least, it's Enchantress, Shadow Demon, Tinker. They're up there when it comes to supports. Then, of course, Naga, that's just banned out by missing something from the supports. I think that's it. Like, those are your tier 1 subs.
By the way, just to add to the statistics, Sniper lost again.
Is he below 30% now, or is he still on 30-ish?
I think he lost. Yeah,
he's 29. Did Liquid win? Like,
no, they lost, I think.
They lost as well. Okay. Yeah, this hero just isn't winning. And it's crazy that teams still believe in him, and they still continuously pick Sniper, even though the stats, I mean, stats can lie, sure, from time to time.
Oh, I just felt somebody get angry.
But with this amount of games, it's very difficult to make a case for Sniper. Like 24 games and sub 30% win rate.
Yeah, I think the case can be closed on whether or not Sniper is a working hero.
Yeah, it works. All of his spells work. It's just that they're not that great. This Shrapnel is amazing in the early stages of the game. Like, you just blow a target up, but then you're just a shrapnel for like the next 15 minutes. Maybe you buy a 4-staff. That's your impact. In any case, one hero that isn't like that, that's absolutely broken in my eyes at least, or at least strong, Triple S, is the Windrunner. Windranger, the Nature's Prophet as well, but we won't be seeing them. They're banned out. The next up, for in my eyes, is Lina. We'll see if that's something that they take care of.
Surely they don't give this Omni Knight away again, right?
Maybe they pick it up. There's Omni, there's Tinker, there's Lina left in the pool. There's a lot of really good heroes. There's also Sniper, by the way.
Mars. So going for the JT Mars first pick. Wanting to prioritize it enough to the point where they want to first pick it here, because it did get banned in the second phase of bans last game.
It's like you're getting a very good hero for yourself, a staple for JT, but also you're taking Ramses, this Mars away from him. Ramses has been performing really damn well on Mars today. I mean, he's playing, even this Kunkka in the last game, he had a really good like MVP performance. But on Mars, he just wins games. So taking it away from him does make a lot of sense. Also, if you want to go back for the X-Nova Phoenix now, it's much easier to set things up and to make that hero work. And you already have a good team fight composition around him, just with the Arena and the Egg.
Arena Egg, we talked about how strong that is. You're reiterating that point here, and I wonder if they will go to the Phoenix. I'm truthfully worried that they just go Omni again. Omni
Lina? Lina into Mars maybe isn't not as great. Yeah, you lose lots of those right clicks in the Arena. Bulwark is also pretty good against her in the lane itself. Like, if you have something like Mars Rubik, you can't punish her. I'm not sure if I like it too much. Instead, they go with the Sand King, for starters at least, keeping it open a little bit. Can be played both on mid and off lane. Probably a JT hero though, right? Sorry, Ramses hero.
Yeah, Sand King doesn't exactly go elsewhere, right?
It can go mid. Like, there was 1 or 2 games that I've seen today or yesterday where Sand King was played mid. Like, you can still swap it out a little bit, but 90% of the time it is the offlane.
So let's see how it goes. As they go to the second phase of bans, getting rid of the Marana, as I will get rid of the Enchantress too. We've seen that be a bit of an issue.
Yeah, and today the games we casted as well. I think low-key this hero isn't respected enough. In the competitive scene it is, like in your normal games it really isn't.
Ooh.
Okay, so they take the Shadow Demon for themselves, it's a nice save in the arena if you can see the target that is. It's a really strong laner right now. I like it a lot.
10 seconds remaining.
And
Disruption's
also,
always a good save, or honestly, offensive spell
5
too,
seconds
especially against the
remaining.
Mars, right? Spear lands on somebody, you just disrupt them.
also just having Demonic Cleanse, eventually even Demonic Purge, it's really good against one guy that hasn't been picked just yet or banned, and he owned the last game. Was played by Whiteman, by the way, so maybe something that they're preparing for. Menace is just too good on Shadow Demon. That's how maybe not too good, but it just makes the hero. Shadow Demon had this problem in the laning stage sometimes. Now with Menace, like, he's just an all-rounder. Feels strong at every point in the game.
The response here from G2xiG is Snapfire.
Okay. So why Snap? You can't go for Phoenix for the combo with Mars. Instead of that, though, you get Snap, which is also a solid combo. You maybe, in my eyes, not as strong, but still a pretty good one. Morty's Kisses, Arena, you get an easy and clean way of team fighting, and also you get a strong laner.
I like it. Good in the lane, like you said, especially if they go full bore. And Treant Protector, we've seen be a nuisance. But there are times where it feels like this hero kind of misses its mark and is lackluster to the point where it just seems like it's a
5 seconds
tree in front of the team that they can chop down pretty quickly.
I feel like the tree needs a solid long distance initiator playmaker, and then you can play around your shards and blink. Like, you can play on the enemy side of the map, constantly be hiding in the trees, not only being this tree and that breaks a smoke and that's it. You know how they play it. Like, if you're losing, it's very difficult, but if you're at least in an even matchup, like, you can, as a position 5, you can do so much, and that's why I actually respect Treant a lot. I think this is a very solid hero. But Shadow Demon Luna, man, let's go. This isn't something I've seen a lot recently, but I low-key think Luna is also one of those extremely strong carries right now.
Another save.
Drinking Buddies as well.
Yeah, Drinking Buddies has shown itself to be very good. Also, Luna Shadow Demon, I know it's not always in the meta, but it always shows its face in every meta. Everybody gives it a shot at least once, especially at the International. They're like, can we still? Yeah.
Basically, this was... Lina was bound to happen. Like, here, I don't think anyone is surprised with the Lina pick. Like, even the Treant pick makes it obvious that they're going for one of these glass cannon position 1s. That's what you want to play. Mirana is banned out, Prophet is banned out, Morphling is banned out. You go with Alina. Something that I've seen a bit from the Chinese region from Extreme Gaming. Actually, Ame played some SF. That was also on my mind, but Lina, why not? If it's broken, just pick it constantly. I've seen the matchup with Luna before, and I think it forces Luna into buying a blink earlier. Maybe an option to consider. Like, just getting on top of Lina and blowing her up.
Can I give you a weird B-Cop pick that I usually am wrong about? Sand King moves mid. Tusk takes the off lane. And they go support time zone Void. Which feels good against the Lina, right?
Man, I've heard so many ideas from you, but this one took me for a ride.
A good ride? Like, we're talking 10 out of 10?
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, it depends on the... I don't know. No,
we're not in a pause right now. I'm not trying to do comedy. I was serious.
Are you Why are you laughing so much if you're not trying to do it?
I'm covering up the fact that I was serious. This is totally a joke.
I see. It's sarcasm. My bad. Yeah, I mean, it would be crazy if they actually did that. They actually switched all of it around. I don't think it's gonna happen. But you made me think of one thing though, like Tusk as a core. I know it's not gonna happen. It will be a support, but getting that Ags versus Lina might eventually allow them to close distance with her. So maybe something to look out for if the game goes really late. But at this point, I'm not sure if either one of these two teams is thinking about that scenario. It's a little bit down the road. For now, what do we need? For G2xiG, I do believe we need a mid laner. Those are the bans from Tundra. And same, I would say pretty much same for Tundra. We're basically missing mid laners for both of these sides.
Or are we?
Maybe it's just Faceless Void, yeah, and Sand King mid, sure. I don't think that's gonna happen, but everything is possible in Dota. Sometimes you get humbled thinking and being stubborn about things. For G2xiG, I would really like to see like a solid playmaker, nothing that's really too greedy. Something that just goes in with Snap, with Mars, plays the like both Puck and Ember for nothing to say would actually be amazing. He's not gonna get to play either one of those two. There are still some heroes that aren't played as much, like a Void Spirit, Storm as well, jumping the Shadow Demon in the backlines. I go with the Storm. I mean, it's not that hard being an analyst when there's like 4 heroes that he's gonna pick from and 2 are banned. One of the spirits was bound to happen. Now for Topson, for Tapson, it's a bit harder to guess. Maybe it's his Shadow Demon, not gonna happen, of course. But he played Earth Spirit in game 1. Kind of a difficult matchup, but you get that silence, I guess, something to play around. And if he won the last game, maybe he's gonna go for it again. If you want a bit more normal build hero, there's the Void, there's the Quap as well.
Oh, I thought for a second. I thought for 1 second, maybe.
Yeah.
I saw the purple. I was like, oh, it's Void. Oh my God.
I mean, honestly, shame on us for not calling the Invoker Topson Invoker.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the hero he started his competitive scene with. Invoker, and what else was it? Like Pugna, Monkey King, those 3 were basically all he played back in the day. What does Invoker do here? I'm honestly not sure which way he's gonna go for, because this morning we've seen an Invoker go fully right-click. He had like... who played that, by the way? Can you remember?
The Invoker earlier today?
Yeah. It was Skadi and Midas and Dragonlance. That's what he went for. I think Cloud9, right? Is it? Is it no one that played it? I think so. Am I wrong?
No. That might have been yesterday.
That might have been yesterday, yeah. My bad. In any case, solid hero at the moment. I don't like Invoker that much overall.
It was Laurel.
It was Laurel. Okay. Yeah, on Spirit when I played it. It looked really good from Laurel, but it was in a very similar situation as well. Like they already had a carry that was supposed to be that ultimate position 1 in the game, and Invoker just took over, buying a Midas and just AFK farmed. This might be that kind of a game where even though we have a Luna that's usually a tempo carry, we might go a little bit later. We'll see what Topson does. Maybe he'll be more of a playmaker than what we've seen from Laurel.
Yeah, definitely could be the case, and we'll have to see if that goes that way. We've got a smoke coming through from IG to start, but we'll see if there's any fighting before the horn. So far, we haven't really seen much fighting before the bounty runes.
Crazy. Comes to facets, also I'm not seeing anything different from what we usually get. Drinking Buddies, Shadow Demon, Promulgate, and Invoker with the Elitist.
Is that the always go-to for Invoker these days, the Elitist?
That's the only one. I don't play a lot of Invoker, but that's the one I see always.
Let's see if they're going to fight here. Bobica holding the high ground. They are smoked on the side of Tundra.
Kind of hard to fight this on the high ground against Tree and Lina. even though they do have a stun from Shadow Demon and Disruption here. Let's see. Oh,
Nvme still moving forward on this a little bit because he did throw that Leech Seed out there.
if the LSA was just a little bit later, they managed to take that one bounty, but all 4 bounties going Tundra's way. Look, losing 3 bounties isn't that big of a deal, but 4, it stings, you know, like you get quite of an advantage on all your heroes. You start the lane, let's say, without tangos, you're thinking, okay, sure, I'm gonna buy the set. Then you get into the lane and you can't buy them.
It's just the little things that end up getting stopped by losing all 4, right?
I mean, it's not so little. Like, your lane becomes much, much harder because of that. Losing all 4 runes isn't something that should happen.
Whitemon working with those drinking buddies, and it's on his courier coming over, a salve and a sentry.
Yeah, this is, I feel like, a kill lane on both sides. If you're out of position with Snap, like, you can fall. Same goes for Luna and Tusk. Like, you do dish out a ton of damage. Bot lane, I feel like it's Lina Treant. Look, Lina is... Like, we've seen what they did to her last game. We'll see if they can repeat that.
Put some early damage onto JT as well as Bobica, using the drinking buddies. Going into the Lucent Beam afterwards. Bottom lane, there should become a point where Ramses is just free to farm here, right?
I'm not sure. Lina and Treant are scary for me, but this is a really good thing that they did. They cut down all the trees on the left side. Lane, JT.
Spear to survive, but the shards were well placed. Again, a little bit of aggression coming out from Tundra, not getting them the kill.
I just have to say, I'm happy to see a lane such as this one, because we've seen so many Kunkka Tinker lanes today and just pure resident sleeper lanes. This one is just constant fighting. Whitemon, he's got shards again.
Yeah, I might want to go and then pull over with the drinking buddies if they do find the right opportunity. And honestly, level 3, when you've got the trio of combo there, as there's the drinking buddies, there the shards, good cookie, but JT's still gonna die here to Pure, and Tundra's got first blood.
They just had a lot of stick charges. Wand on the Luna, a lot of sticks on Whitemon. They just never had a chance of fighting them there.
Stick on Snapfire, not really doing much.
It's a really good stick lane, like you're playing into Luna, but it wasn't enough. When it comes to mid lane and CS, stops and 4 CS behind. Not the end of the world, a little bit behind the Storm, but doing all right on the Invoker. What I do want to see is just how much he'll be able to accomplish as this Invoker in the mid game.
Yeah, we've seen Invokers have decent lanes, find a Sunstrike here or there, but then they end up kind of falling stale in the mid game. I definitely want to see whether or not Topson can kind of change the way we've seen that line happen.
If there's a player that can do it, it is probably him. And if he is picking Invoker, it probably means that there is a place for the hero. We've seen a couple of Invokers picked. Like, late game potential is much higher on the hero, I feel like, than before. Top lane, again, Ice Shards.
Again with the shards, but they just don't quite have the damage, though Bobica doesn't have a lot of mana to work with. He does have that clarity and a Lotus, if need be.
He didn't want to use it immediately. Snova did leave Monet, and I guess they're just happy with farming, right? Like, Ramses is pulling the enemy wave into the small camp, just getting as much farm as he can on the Sand King, going for phase boots, actually.
Yeah, keeping it pretty efficient for the Sand King, as they're going to try and pull the wave all the way over for the side of the Dire, and next Nova and Monet are moving in.
Just have to be
Shards and drinking buddies again, as Bobica, he does have Cookie. He's going to actually jump behind. They'll land the spear afterwards. Whitemon, though, not dead. He pops his stick. They'll get the kill on a Bobica. Now they'll look over at JT. Whitemon, he was level 2 in the drinking buddies, so no snowball. That level 2 in drinking buddies is extra 45 damage with a 6-second buff duration.
it all adds up. It's not only the drinking buddies. Like if you click on Pure and his facet, like he's got this Moonstorm, so he's getting more damage from Lucent Beams as well. He had like 16, I think, maybe 24 damage from the Lucent Beams, and then on top of that you add drinking buddies, and I mean, that's a lot.
Ramsey's getting run down here and pretty low. Has 4 stick charges of his own.
Saxa
maybe even thinks about going in onto X-Nova with a Burrow Strike of some sort. Saxa lands the 5th stack and he'll get the kill there on X-Nova. Not needing really a lot of help from Ramses overall.
And that's like, what, 10% added damage from Menace? And then 5 Shadow Poison stacks. He lost like 50% of HP. JT top.
Snowball in Scatter Blast. And that's with the full bore. A lot of damage being done on a Bobica. All he's got is 2 wand charges. This is not good for him at all. And he's bringing over a salve, but he might just be dead by the time that courier gets there if he doesn't position correctly and safely.
This is one of those position 4s where you're really sad with the amount of farm that you're getting. Like, you're not getting any kills, and then on top of that, you're forced to buy so much region. JT might die regardless here.
Yeah, now you've got the shards in Snowball. Didn't pull in Pure. Not sure it's going to matter. They'll go to the Lucent Beam. They'll get the kill to JT. They've also got Soxy in Disruption. Bobica, 2 stacks on him, eventually dies here to Pure. So Whitemon gets 1, Pure gets the other. This tower, too, is going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, nice rotation from Saxa, because it's minute 6:45. This might be a Wisdom Rune as well, if they're not careful. They need to either steal theirs or connect. X-Nova
doing.
Can he do this? Boots from Ramses. He might be with these phases.
He's not going to get it. So the bounty runes at the start, the wisdom runes here, and now they're going to bring the storm over. He is level 6. He does have ball lightning. He has a couple sips in that bottle. They're trying to get at least something out of this. There's the cookie, and the shards will actually block out JT and Bobica, and I think that'll most likely mean that Nothing to Say doesn't go for a second kill. However, Thompson's come over and got a tower out of this.
Yeah, they just lost the tower. The pressure was so high from Luna and Tusk. Like, I said this was a kill lane, but I didn't expect it to be this potent from the 2 of them. This is a disaster, I would say, for G2xiG. Losing both the Wisdom Runes. Losing the Shadow Demon, you're happy with that. SD for 2 Wisdom Runes. That's a really good deal.
For sure, yeah. Invoker at level 7. Nothing to Say. Huzzah! They didn't really have any mana to work with there.
They might even go here. They have DD on Invoker.
Tornado lands, trying to cookie up on the high ground. Bobica will do so, but the shards are there to get the vision for the snowball, and now they're all locked up at the top, but all 3 come over.
Thompson is thinking about going into tower range. Like, he's going mid. Nothing to Say. Doesn't really have a lot of mana to work with. Just to be careful. This is, like, you look at these 2 supports, they're both level 4. 4 and Snap, 4 and 3.
Drinking buddies in. Walrus Punch is used. X-Nova blocked by the shards. They are going to get another kill here.
Mid lane, maybe? There's just no mana on Storm. He's on like 50%. I'm not sure this is enough for Thompson. He's going for a Mage Slayer, by the way. A pretty solid pickup. Makes him tankier and also negates a lot of damage that comes from G2xiG. The Storm is brewing. Like, once they get a singular item on Ramses, they'll be able to completely control the map, it feels like.
Yeah.
And Ramses is going for that aura build on the Sand King. No Bloodstone, Shiva's, nothing like that. He's going straight for the pipe. Maybe even a Crimson after to negate Lina's damage, we'll see.
This is moving pretty quickly, and you said aura build here for Ramses. We've seen some Sand Kings get away with not going aura, but going right into the pipe seems like a great idea. Again, no bottle charges for Nothing to Say. Trying to lock down the power rune, but they're not going to be able to do so. And Thompson ends up picking up that shield rune, and this is going to continue to keep Nothing to Say without a bottle full at all.
It's so fascinating how adamant they are at negating every single rune from him. I don't think I've seen him take one active rune. I've seen Thompson with DD, I've seen Thompson with this one. Maybe he had something, I'm not sure, but...
No, he couldn't have, because the two would be the... The 2 was the amplified damage and the shield rune there, and I'm pretty sure he had the one before that at the 6 minutes. So
yeah, the 6 minutes. The 6 minutes rune is the only one that I'm unsure about, but yeah, in any case, not a happy mid laner, especially because your side lanes are going poorly, so the supports can't just die and TP in to refill every time you need it. You lost the tier 1 on top lane, and Thompson is on JT, but gonna happen.
Pure's been up here top, just doing anything he wants.
This is...
And Thompson and Whiteman have been attached at the hip.
It's really cool, right? Because Invoker kind of... You can find yourself struggling to make plays in the mid game with Ghost Walk. You just want to go across the map, find hero kills. But if the Tusk is following him, then it's a bit easier. What G2xiG need, though, is Boboka's level 6. I think that's like the main thing they need to get right now.
Yeah.
It completely activates their draft.
So with
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
what was that? Alacrity and Drinking Buddies. I want to see next time what the damage is for Thompson. Pure not afraid to even make the rotation here either.
And their map is just shrinking so hard. There's a pipe on Ramses now. Even with the Mortimer's kisses. Hey, look at this. They're just taking your triangle. Minute 12, 5k lead. This is already looking really rough.
It's just such a quick lead. It's such a quick pincher of the map, and I don't really know where your answers lie, because look, so they're gonna get Boboka again, and he just can't get level 6. We're 13 minutes in. We talked about it last game. There were supports that were level 5 at 14 minutes, and it was a real bad time.
It's like, you're really sad if you're getting your level 6 with the 14-minute wisdom rune, you know? It's one of the worst feelings right now in the game. Hopefully they'll manage to shake this off and get it somewhere. Xnova down bottom, he did manage to get his ultimate at least. But like the thing is, I don't find it nearly as impactful this game as I find Mortimer's kisses, because they're just lacking damage. They're seriously lacking it. Maybe if they bring both Lina.
Strike, Overgrowth, and there's the Laguna Blade onto Ramses, but they've got that pipe. They'll go to the Walrus Punch, and they will be able to kill this Lina. The arena's down, but it's just too late. The ball lightning in, and they just don't do the damage at the moment. Good God's Rebuke, but the Eclipse comes through from Pure. They'll get themselves a second. They'll look towards the rest. The chase is on to catch one more. Xnova on the run, throws out that Leech Seed. They do have shards, which will get in front of Xnova. It's an alley-oop from the Cookie to the Punch, and a kill for Pure, as he's now unstoppable. They also get themselves that Storm as they chase Nothing to Say all the way down, and Thompson will get the finishing blow.
This was under your tier 2, by the way, that they fought, and it was still impossible for them to take the fight. Not a singular kill. Invoker is just doing massive amounts of work in that engagement. Ramses as well. All he needed to do, honestly, here is pop the pipe, and that's it. His job is done. Meanwhile, on the other side, just not enough. Boboka only hits his level 6 now. Maybe if you had Mortimer's kisses in this fight, maybe then you can take it, but without it, it was just forced.
Certainly rough. That fight completely one-sided, and this smoke again, like they're really trying to make something happen, but Whitemon is another power rune that benefits them. He's pretty tanky, but he ain't tanky enough. Whitemon, though, breaking that smoke, he's happy because Pure was sitting up there top. They go through the jungle, maybe they get the kill on the Luna, and things start to go IG's way.
It's under attack.
Sand King, though, he is tipping in. He's got Vanguard, by the way, going for that Crimson with the pipe. It's a really difficult skill to make, but maybe doable.
Mortimer's kisses, and he is still alive thanks to the disruption. They've got the arena down, Pure off to the side. The damage on the JT, the Lucid Beam's going to be there. They'll get themselves at least one. They're going to look over at Monet. Cookie in. All right. Well, that's going to cost Monet his life. They'll go to the Eclipse. They'll look over at Bobica. They'll at least get another one with that. And they call GG. They tap out 15 minutes in, and Tundra will take the 2-0 and the tiebreaker over G2xiG.
Came out on top.
You called one game shellacking today. That wasn't it. This was it. This is just rough. And you could see it, like Tundra, they outplayed them in the laning stage. All the rotations, the rune control were